Oh, so I just got done watching episode 3 of The Acolyte. Now, for a bit of context, the first 2 episodes I thought were meh, decent, they were alright. This latest episode, however, and I promised myself that I would go into this with an open mind. I didn't expect it to be this goddamn awful. This is bad. This is so bad. Honestly, right here, right? This show has a bigger budget than Kenobi ever did, okay? There's a comment that summed it up perfectly, right? Twice the budget, double the fall. This is what happens when you get a bunch of people handling an IP that have no idea what on earth they're doing. You don't get to reinvent what the Force is or what the mythology is. You don't get to do that. Like, if you want to put your own spin on something, that's fine. You can do that. There's a few positives in the episode. Soul, again, is a standout. Like, Master Soul is an absolute standout in this show, and I think is the breakout character that everyone will gravitate to and adore. I appreciate the backstory for the two sisters at just a broad brush. It's a good backstory. However, there's just things that happen in the episode that don't make any logical sense. Spoilers, by the way, people. You mean to tell me a little flame burns down an entire mountainside? Like, there's a moment in this episode where the sister all of a sudden becomes a serial killer from Scream, and she's like, no, you will not leave, blah, 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 and tries to kill her sister with a little fire that, I kid you not, burns the whole freaking building along the mountainside. What? And then, not only that, can we stop doing this thing where we're trying to reinterpret the Chosen One legacy? Can you stop it? Every single man, woman, and child and their dog knows the Chosen One prophecy is Anakin. I don't understand how many times we have to keep going through this. It's Anakin. The midichlorians are influenced to create life. Hence the prophecy, okay? We all know that. For some reason, ever since Disney got a hold of the IP, the Chosen One can have many different meanings. Just because Anakin brought balance, it doesn't mean it's like that forever. It's like every single bit of the key mythology gets a spin on it. And I'm just wondering, how low does the bar have to go before we start going, okay, enough is enough now. Like, enough. Like, it's getting to the point where I can't defend it anymore. It's actually getting frustrating. I said this to my boys earlier today. Marvel always bounces back. DC, they have a slapper of a movie every now and then. Star Wars is a linear universe, and it's a disjointed mess. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing means anything anymore. It just means whatever the fuck people say it means. By people who don't understand the brand, they don't understand the legacy, they don't understand the characters. And I'm very rarely, not saying ever, but very rarely going to go on here and rant like this. But this is something that I had to get off my chest. This episode was bad. It was absolutely poor. It was awful. Like, from just it started out, like, the first 2 minutes were okay. Cinematography, pretty good. Like, the shots of the mountainside, the trees, the theater of the mind, the ambience, all there. All of a sudden, there's like a nosedive straight down that goes to shit. And now you've got characters, you've got all these, like, just this reinvention of the mythology and the lore. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that. The lore is already established. Why do we have to keep reinventing it? Like, I get it. You want to put your own spin on it. You want to have your stamp of approval of, like, okay, this was my footprint on the Star Wars brand. I get it. But did no one learn anything from The Last Jedi? You can't do that. You can't do that. When things are established a certain way, it has to be that way. It's not a Marvel where you've got a multiple universes and you can reboot whenever. It's a linear story. Now nothing makes sense anymore. If you look at the amount of like shows that we've gotten that contradict lore, that are canon breaking, you know, and don't say, oh, there's things in place to stop them from breaking the law. No, it keeps happening again and again and again and again and again. And like many other Star Wars fans, myself included, it's getting a bit tiresome because not even I can defend this. I gave you the positives. Like, literally, if I just go through the positives, Jedi Master Soul, the opening 3 minutes were cool. The ambience at the start, the cinematography at the start, like, and the effects of like the symbol in the sky. Like, other than that, I don't know what this was. Like, and the thing is, my expectations were low enough. How much lower does the bar have to go before we can't even do Limbo? Like, it's already down here. Like, it's down here. Like, I feel like every time I watch a Star Wars project now, I have to lower my expectations way down here to make up for the account of, oh, you're just not a true fan if Acolyte isn't in your top 5 Star Wars projects of all time. You know, and I hate that. I hate that logic. It's said by people that genuinely, if you enjoy the Acolyte, right, don't let me take anything away from you. You enjoy it. Fair play to you. However, for those who actually understand the lore and are invested in the lore and care about the characters and consistency and congruent behavior, I don't understand this obsession with we have to keep changing the mythology, we have to keep changing the characters up. Like, I'm prefacing this now. After the Acolyte, please leave the whole legacy alone. Stop episodes 1 through 6, leave them alone. I don't want any more. I don't want any more. Because it's getting to the point where unless certain creatives are involved, or unless Filoni, for instance, I know everyone's going to say, oh, of course it's Filoni. Unless Filoni has a major input on something, I genuinely get nervous for projects because I'm like, I'm hoping this is going to be good. I'm hoping. Like, I've literally, ever since the sequel trilogy was a thing, I and many other Star Wars fans have tried every single time to find a positive. Force Awakens, it was a good first act. We're back. Okay, cool. Last Jedi, one of the most visually stunning films in the saga. Storyline's a pile of trash, but Kylo Ren's cool. Rise of Skywalker, Ben Solo, Han Solo shrug, Anakin with the Anakin saber, John Williams soundtrack. Cool, you know? All right. Still pissed all over the legacy of the previous 6 films, but cool. Kenobi, Hayden and Ewan back at it again. But it's the Reva show, but we got Hayden and Ewan again. Boba Fett, the seismic charge, where like we get to see that after 20 years. And that wasn't even in that show, that was in Mando. You've got Mandalorian, the Luke scene. You've got the bond between Din Djarin and Grogu. And then that fell off in season 3, and Moff Gideon was completely wasted. Bad Batch, great premise. Crosshair is the GOAT. I'll stand by that. But the show's filler to hell. Like, what? I don't know what we're doing here. Like, I don't understand what we're doing, where we're going. And, you know, someone could go in the comment section and go, oh, I'm being too anal, I'm getting too emotional, blah, blah, blah. I've been one of the most positive fans in this whole new era of Star Wars. I just don't understand what we're doing. Like, what is this? This is poor. Like, again, it's one of the things where you've actually got a good concept here. 2 sisters that are formerly of, like, witch magic. One goes one way, one goes the other way. I think you ripped it off from the Legends material, but, you know, you still have something cool there. You're not extracting it to its full potential. And you're turning the Jedi into these child abducting, like, I really, like, don't get me wrong, right? The whole notion of the Jedi are hypocritical, the hubris, the dogma, the reason why Anakin fell to the dark side, that's all very legitimate, right? But it doesn't mean the Jedi are that bad. Like, positives and negatives to everything. And where I feel like we're going is the Jedi are evil, always evil. It's like, now, hold on a minute here. Who's the Jedi, before Disney came along, who's the Jedi who wins at the end of episode 6? It's Luke. Like, well, we're losing the original intentions of the brand. And I just need to... I need to accept that this isn't George Lucas's Star Wars, and it's just whatever this is. For those fans out there, and again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong when I say this. Oh, is Darth Plagueis going to show up? Is Darth Tenebrous going to show up? You're giving him way too much credit. I guarantee you that mofo in the mask is probably their distant aunt or something. Like, 100%. It's not going to be, like, you know, some grand Sith that, you know, randomly springs out of nowhere, because it's not earned. I don't want it in this show, and they're just going to waste them. Like, I don't want it. I don't want it. On that, guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below and let me know if you agree with any of the points I've raised. I can't with this. Like, we've got a few more episodes left. I'm hopeful the show can pick itself up in some way, shape, or form. But this particular episode right here was just bad. Like, it was just awful. Like, I'm trying so hard to find a positive during this whole thing. I can't. Like, I'm really trying. And again, there's going to be someone that goes in that comment section and says, be a true fan, love everything. Well, I'd rather be true to myself and true to what I know many people are, which is real, and not faking it for the camera and you know, for the benefits of faking it and being authentic to me, when I think this is freaking dog shit. This is awful. Like, the first 2 episodes I gave a pass because it was all right. It was decent, not bad. You know, I wasn't just straight into the camp of, no, it's bad. It's like, no, it was all right. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. It wasn't good either. It was just all right. That was poor. Kenobi didn't have an episode that bad. Boba Fett wasn't even that bad. That was a straight up level of bad. Like, it just from start to finish. Like, after the first 4 minutes, it was like this. It was like, kaboom. I don't know what we're doing here. Like, I agree with what Star Wars Theory said. I just saw his video literally not long ago. I'm just going to go watch The Empire Strikes Back to remember better times, because Jesus freaking H. Christ. This show is a pile of shit, man. Oh, God. And once again, there's potential here. There's potential.